The Midsummer Classic. A time to take a break from the regular season. A time to check out baseball's brightest stars. For the National League, Cubs manager Joe Maddon leads a high-powered lineup. The explosive Bryce Harper and Cubs stopper Wade Davis could be closing the game. For the American League, former White Sox ace Chris Sale will start. And current White Sox right fielder Avi Garcia is basking in his all-star glow. Welcome to Miami, Chicago. Fox 32's All-Star Special starts now.
And good evening. Welcome to Fox 32 All-Star Live. I'm George Smith. We'll take you to Miami in just a moment. The Midsummer Classic coming up right here on Fox 32. And one of the best things about this year's game, it won't impact home field advantage in the World Series. Major League Baseball changed that after 13 years. So it's all for pride and bragging rights. Let's talk about the Chicago connections. One player from the Cubs, one from the Sox, Wade Davis, the Cubs closer, 16 saves so far this season. And Avi Garcia, the Sox outfielder, hitting .310 with 11 homers and 51 runs batted. Both of them will be on the bench tonight. Joe Maddon, of course, is the National League manager. He is the only Cub from the World Series championship team that's in the All-Star game. All right, Lou Canellis has been in Miami for the All-Star festivities. He's live right now at Marlins Park. Lou, what's going on?
Hey, George, I'll tell you what. Let me follow up on what you said. Pride, and also each player will get $20,000 if they're on the winning team. It's a lot of money to guys like you and I. Other than that, you're right. Finally, they got rid of that silly rule after 15 years of the winning team at the All-Star game, that league getting home field advantage in the World Series. I thought it was absolutely ludicrous that that rule even existed. Fans starting to pile in. I've talked about it throughout the day on our newscast. Floridians not really excited about the All-Star game being here. I'll tell you what, you can get on StubHub right now and pick up tickets for about $1.50 a piece, which is actually half of what they're going for face value-wise. Marlins don't draw well here in the ballpark. They're up for sale right now. Fans a little upset in South Florida. They only draw about 20,000 fans a game. That's worse than the National League. And Cubs, one of the better draws at Wrigley Field. They draw actually sixth in the National League at almost 40,000 fans a game. Let's talk about Joe Maddon. You touched on Maddon. Maddon will lead the National Leaguers tonight. This is actually the second time that Joe Maddon will manage in the All-Star game. Back in 2009, he managed the American League squad because his Rays ended up winning the World Series, losing the World Series the year before to the Philadelphia Phillies. So I had a chance to chat with Maddon yesterday. He's talked about how strange it is that he's here, but none of the players from his World Series title team are here with him. But he knows if it wasn't for those guys, he wouldn't be the man of the hour on the National League side tonight. Let's hear from Maddon.
It's all based on a wonderful baseball team last year winning the first World Series in 108 years. We as a staff get to come down here, and all my guys our guys are getting some rest right now. I wish some had made the team, but we're standing here as a staff, as a manager, because of the efforts of a great group of baseball players.
You know, you told the media that it was actually a little weird for you on Sunday to accept the All-Star game jersey.
Yeah, again, listen, it's a player's game, and I am the manager, and these are our coaches, and they're great. Our coaches are great. But to have to stand out there and accept that and come here and not have a bunch of them with you, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of strange to do what we did last year and not have a stronger representation this year. And again, I'm not denigrating voting whatsoever. It was accurate, it was good. But I just wanted our guys to know how much we appreciate their efforts to get us down here.
But you do have Wade Davis here. Have you thought about how you might use him?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's looking like he may be extra innings. right now, but I have to firm that up with the league office, and we have to get together with them and give them a schematic of the pitching in advance, which we're going to do post batting practice. So I'll know then.
Is that your call? Is that Wade's call? Is he a little gassed at this point in the season?
It's a combination of things. You try to talk to everybody and find out where everybody's at physically, and then try to make your best guess.
Is this a tough game to manage?
No. The tougher one is when you have to win it. And the tougher one is when you have to win it under National League rules. That's what we had to do in 2009. And there's a lot going on, man. A lot going on in that game under those circumstances. So I like it. I like the fact that it is an exhibition game, and that in a sense the game does not necessarily matter, which permits you more easily to get everybody involved.
I'm going to ask you a simple question that I'm sure is incredibly difficult to answer. What's wrong with the Cubs?
To this point right now, we haven't pitched up to our capabilities, and although it's getting better, we just haven't hit to our level yet either. I think we're getting better situationally. Bullpen's been a strong point. I thought the defense is really starting to play catch up in a good way, but primarily our starting pitching has not nailed it down like we had last year. But I still have a lot of faith in the boys. And then the second half of that is we have to be better with situations, runner in scoring position, etc., moving the baseball at the right time. So that's what I see, and I think that's definitely fixable. A big part of our success in the second half is to keep our starters healthy and well, and then to start move the baseball and utilize the whole field and not just try to pull the ball.
2015, your squad in the second half of the season after the All-Star break went 50-24. Do these guys have it in them to do the same?
If you pitch, you got to pitch. You can't get on historic runs without really pitching well. So yeah, I'm going to say we do have it in us. It's not going to be easy. I do believe that we're coming off of some injuries, so guys are well. I do believe that we're going to see a rested team coming out of the break. So this would be the time, obviously. The factors, everything's in place to do something like that.
Is there anyone you're really excited to meet or catch up with here?
Everybody. Max, Scherzer. I called the Washington front office and Dusty to make sure they're okay with him starting. I texted him to try to get in touch with him, and I guess I had the wrong number. So I had to I played catch up with him this morning in the food room, and then I've spoken to him a lot since then. Really good fella. No, in general, Buster, I got to meet Buster Posey. There's a lot of guys really haven't had a chance to get to know, and adversarially speaking, which is a good thing. That's the bad part about the All-Star game. You start liking guys, and then when you have to play against them, all of a sudden you like this guy, and it doesn't have that same vibe to it.
Yeah, Max Scherzer's had a terrific first half, leads the majors in earned run average. And just a follow-up to Madden talking about his Cubs. Listen, they've got the Brewers 10 more times in the second half of this season. They're 5.5 back of Milwaukee at this point. And of their 64 remaining games, 53 of those 64, folks, are against teams with losing records. They're getting healthy. Kyle Hendricks pitched last night, pitched well, 3 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run, 2 hits, may join the team in Baltimore. Hopefully John Lester forgets about what happened on Sunday. Jake Arrieta comes back and is the pitcher that he was. Eddie Butler, John Lackey coming off the DL. This starting pitching needs to turn around. If it does, this Cubs team could, like they did in 2015, go on a roll like they did that year when they went 50-24. We need to take a timeout here in Miami. Coming up after a break, Avi Garcia making his first All-Star appearance. That's right, Garcia's had the best first half of his career, and he is going to be playing for the American League tonight. We'll talk to Avi next here on our All-Star pregame special.
Welcome back. Avi Garcia enjoying his first trip to the All-Star game. We're hearing he's like a kid in a candy store, very excited to be at the big game. We know he's got some family there with him. Garcia, of course, a rising star, having his best season in the bigs by far. The numbers speak for themselves. Again, .310 batting average, 11 homers, 51 runs batted in. Lou Canellis went one-on-one with the Sox star. Hey, Lou.
Hey, George, I'll tell you what. Aaron, the judge of the Yankees yesterday, actually won the home run derby. He's one of the American League outfielders. Avi Garcia, one of those guys for the first time in his career as well. It was 4 years ago this month that the White Sox made that trade with the Tigers, the PV trade, where they got Avi Garcia. And they've been expecting big things from Avi since he's been a member of the organization. Didn't happen until the first half of this season. You touched on his numbers. This offseason, he worked harder than ever. Lost 20 pounds, said he quit eating steak every night, got more to fish and chicken, and boom, sure enough, he's having a year like he's never had before. I asked him, because Jose Quintana was the one White Sox player who was part of last year's All-Star game in San Diego. I asked him what Jose told him to expect here in Miami.
Hey, it's a great experience, have fun, and enjoy it.
Did you bring the family?
Yes, my wife here, my daughter. My mom can't come because she got, a lot of stuff to do in Minnesota, but they be watching tonight and tomorrow.
Do you think you'll be nervous when you get up to the plate with so many superstars in the world watching?
If somebody say no to you, they lying. Yeah, everybody's, have a little butterfly.
It's a good nervousness.
Yes, for sure. That's what Breu told me. Hey, first, when I come in, I feel, butterflies in my stomach, so you're going to be okay, though.
Avi, there was so much expected of you. Did you ever think you'd be wearing the All-Star jersey?
Never. I can't believe it. So, but, I've been working really hard. We're working really hard, every year, every day, every game, trying to perform and trying to do my best, trying to help my team win, and, just it's a result, so.
But you've told us that you worked harder this past offseason than ever. You lost the weight. Why? Was there a light that went on and you said, listen, man, I'm 25, 26 now, and I need to really be serious about this?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think about it, and I say this to myself: hey, you got to do something for yourself. You got to get better. You got to do something. So that's coming to my mind, and that's why I lost 20 pounds, and I feel way better. So I just got to keep working, see what happens. Everything's coming along. You just got to keep working and do your best for your body, for your game, for your team, and everything coming.
Do you find that you've now gained more respect inside the clubhouse too because of the numbers you've put up this year? Guys looking up to you?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I always have, I always respect everybody. They respect me because they know how hard I work and how responsibility I am with my work. I think everybody in the clubhouse is happy because in the big league, people like that you work hard. They appreciate that. They love that. So that's what you got to do when you get here.
Yeah, Garcia, a Venezuelan, real special for him to be here in South Florida. We talked about the rebuilding White Sox. He actually thinks the young talent that the White Sox have is better than the young talent the Cubs just won a World Series with. We'll see in due time. We'll also see if Rick Hahn plans on keeping Avi Garcia as part of the rebuild. Garcia's contract ends after the 2019 season. Lots more to go here in Miami at the All-Star Game. Coming up after a timeout, we will chat with Cubs closer Wade Davis, making his third All-Star appearance here on Fox 32 Chicago.
We're counting down to Major League Baseball's All-Star Game right here on Fox 32 tonight. Cubs closer Wade Davis, he's in Miami, a free agent in October. He's setting himself up very nicely for a big payday. Let's check in again with Lou for more on the Cubs closer. Lou.
Hey, I'll tell you what, George. Wade Davis has been everything the Cubs expected when they made the trade for Jorge Soler. Boy, what a lopsided trade it looks like right now. Davis 16 for 16 in save opportunities. Last year, we've been talking about it since we found out who was coming to the Midsummer Classic and who wasn't. Last year, the Cubs had 7 players in San Diego at the All-Star Game. 5 starters. This year, for the first time in baseball, the World Series champion from the year before does not have one starting position player at the All-Star Game. Wade Davis, the lone Cub representative. Davis making his third All-Star appearance.
That's really cool, special, like saying earlier, just something you never forget, just being a part of whatever, getting voted or whatever is like special, it's not it's not like a lucky thing or anything. So it was definitely special to hear that and to be here with all these guys and meet new people and see some old friends too. It's pretty cool.
And you're from Central Florida, so first All-Star game in the state of Florida, that's got to be special as well.
Yeah, right. I got some family coming down, and so there'll be some people here to check it out.
When you're out there in a game like this, do you get nervous?
Yeah, that was the most, 2 years ago when I pitched, it was the most nervous I'd ever been.
Really? Back in, what, 2015?
Yeah, that was the most nervous I'd ever been. It's a different feeling, for sure. Because I don't know if, I guess we're playing to win, but it's also like an eerie feeling, too. I don't know. Because it's not the team that you're playing for, but it's pretty interesting.
Has Joe given you any idea how he'll use you tomorrow?
I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. I haven't even done anything the past 2 days, so I have no idea.
The way this Cubs team is struggling right now, talk about how tough it is to come off a World Series season like the Cubs did and then bounce back.
I can only speak for myself on that one. I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but for me it was difficult last year. You know, I had some fatigue and an injury that kind of set me back for about a month, so that was not cool. But I think definitely an emotional part that you got to push through it, and I think that's something that this team will be fine with. It's too young and too talented and too strong and too smart, and I don't think that'll be an issue. Yeah, Joe was just saying that he hasn't lost confidence in this bunch, and he thinks that the second half it could be a complete turnaround. I know you're just getting to know some of the guys. You feel the same way? Yeah, just you watch these guys take BP or field ground balls or just talk to them. There's no, I don't think there's going to be an issue. I really don't.
Yeah, when I had the chance to talk to Davis, he was keeping it close to the vest, but he must have known, because you heard from Joe Madden earlier in the show. Madden does not plan on using Wade Davis tonight. Let him rest unless the game goes into extra innings. And George touched on it before we heard from Davis. Davis could be in for a huge payday. He becomes a free agent in October at the conclusion of this season. And we saw what closers like Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers and Aroldis Chapman of the Yankees, the $80 million contracts they got this past offseason. Davis could be in the same boat. We need to take another timeout live from Miami. Coming up after a break, oh, there's a shot at the fish tank here at Marlins Park. Coming up, Chris Sale, former White Sox starter, opening again for the American League at the All-Star Game for the second consecutive season, and Michael Kopech, who hopes to have the type of career Sale's had. We'll hear from both next here on Fox 32 Chicago.
A lot of work, hard work, and dedication goes into this. I've been very lucky to be where I'm at right now with the Boston Red Sox and have that transition going as smoothly as it has been.
Yeah, Chris Sale making his 6th All-Star appearance, first 5 coming with the White Sox, first pitcher to pitch back-to-back All-Star games, start back-to-back All-Star games since Dave Stieb did it back in 1983 and 84. And Sale, you know, he attended high school, actually grew up in Central Florida, but doesn't live far from Miami now, about an hour and a half, he said. And don't forget, he went to Florida Gulf Coast here locally as well. The trail of Sale to the Red Sox netted the White Sox the top prospect in baseball, Yoan Moncada. Also got the White Sox Michael Kopech, Eloy Jimenez, Moncada, Kopech, all part of Sunday's futures game. Moncada's had a pretty good season. He'll be coming up to the majors very, very soon. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened in the next couple of weeks. Michael Kopech also having a pretty good year in Double-A Birmingham, and I had a chance to talk to Kopech about being part of the All-Star festivities.
You know, it's a huge honor just to be here. It feels as much as a big league environment can feel like if you haven't been there before. So, you know, just getting a little taste of it makes me all the more hungry. You've had a pretty good first couple of months of the minor league season. Yeah, I started off really hot, and then I've run into some struggles, and I'm working on that right now and just trying to get back to the pitcher I am instead of the pitcher I want to be, you know, trying not to look too far ahead and trying to live in the moment. You know, be the pitcher that I know I can be. Feeling good about the changeup? I know you've been working with that pitch. Yeah, absolutely. It's made a lot of progress, and it might be something I have to throw tonight, you know, and if not, then I don't need to, but, hopefully I can, showcase what I have.
What does it say about this White Sox organization? You're here, Moncada's here, Zach Collins is here.
Yeah, I think we're all really excited about it, and the fact that we're all getting to represent the White Sox organization as a whole, we're extremely blessed and extremely honored to be here.
If they asked you, hey, we're going to bring you up in August, September, would you chomp at the bit? I mean, are you ready for the major leagues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's always my goal. If I could be in the big leagues right now, and if it was up to me, I would be. I don't think that's something that I've ever been unprepared for, but at the same time, I have to take it day by day and pitch how I know how to right now at the AA level.
Kopech and Moncada squared off against each other Sunday in the Futures game. 4 pitches. Kopech put Moncada down, blew 3 fastballs by him, 99, 100, and 101 miles per hour. That's going to wrap things up. Coming up, the All-Star game from here in Miami. George, back to you in Chicago.
All right, thanks very much, Lou. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. For Lou Canellis, I'm George Smith. Enjoy the game tonight.